Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of our Unpatched playthrough of Elden Ring. Hope everyone's doing well. So yesterday we finished off going through the Mogwin Dynasty Mausoleum and the Yellow Annex Tunnel and fighting Mohg and Estelle, obviously. So today we're going to be going through the Haligtree area to encounter Miquella and her maybe brother, who might be there. Did I say Miquella? I meant Malenia. Anyway, enough stalling. Everybody welcome back in. Got a spaghetti. Trent, nice to see both of you. You wonder why Morgott was killing all potential lords, unless he knew the Erdtree needed to be burned. I don't think he would have accepted the Erdtree being burned. It seemed like his goal was to protect the Erdtree, which might go in line with him being an omen and the Erdtree kind of being created in his time. You thought Morgott was against everyone or anyone taking the Elden Throne who wasn't royal lineage or something similar? Do I think that the Frenzy Flame is inherently evil? Well, my opinion about like good and evil is that it's more or less in the eye of the beholder. So, like in these games, like morality isn't really so much of a thing as much as it is the idea of might makes right, as kind of cynical as that is. And also welcome back to the stream, Vacuous, Boris, Saturn, Capenda, and Mercy. Oh, we got a lot of you guys in early today. Nice. This is where you met your first lover? So you must have a lot of fond memories of this area then. Alright, so as we come through the Haligtree, we're going to see a bunch of the Oracle Envoys. And remember, in this version of the game, there were none of the Envoys in Leyndell itself. So this is our first time seeing them in this playthrough. And the tree itself is kind of rotted, most likely due to Malenia's blood, obviously in the Scarlet Rot, kind of running amok, because Miquella couldn't fully contain it within her. Or maybe kind of could with the Golden Needle, but she did take it out when she fought Radahn. And maybe Gowry, well, Gowry didn't actually have it, but O'Neill may have taken it. Which even that's kind of strange, because he's a banished knight, so... I didn't like step forward. That's funny. So yeah, there was the banished knight, well, veteran, with O'Neill taking part in the war between Malenia and Radahn. We don't know whose side he fought for, but with him being in the middle of the Scarlet Ionia and summoning exile knights, it's kind of left up to interpretation. I would lean towards Radahn because Malenia had her own Clean Rot Knights, but to be fair, Radahn also has Red Mane Knights, and we don't really see Exiles and Banished Knights working for either directly. The Oracles are waiting for Malenia to send. I always felt like they were waiting for Miquella. Could be either one. Oh yeah, and these things are really strange because we really don't get many enemies like these in general. Like, they don't really have legs, so they might be related to Albinaurics. Their clothing is also kind of unique. I don't remember if there's anything particular on the sigils. Not exactly. I mean, that stuff's very slightly resembles a little bit of the fire giants. But if anything, like, the way that its neck sticks out and has the little bulbous thing on the back, it almost reminds me of a god skin or maybe even a snail. Sorry, the dog is being a goof. Yeah, so with the skin that they have, it is very pale and a little bit blue, which I do think looks like the god skins, like I just said, but they don't use Black Flame or anything like that. They use Oracle Bubble Envoys. So, or not Oracle Bubble Envoys, just Oracle Bubbles. So maybe they're supposed to be kind of related to Claymen or Alabaster Lords. Who knows, because that was so weird. It just wasn't attacking properly. When you strike these things, they should bleed like a whitish color, but it's not like Albinaurics. It's more gray, like rocky, like some of the other things we fought before. O'Neill is close by the clean routes, and Niall guards Castle Sol. Yeah, but neither are particularly like Radon or Malenia affiliated, I think. Hey, Asenex, welcome back in. You feel since Mikola wasn't there to continue giving life to the tree couldn't withstand the scarlet rot. Maybe. And maybe the tree never actually had the ability to do it once Malenia got rid of her needle. So these are the little bubbles that they cast. In this version, they're not golden. So they are a little bit more, oops. They're a little more similar. Wait, what is all? Oh, the Miranda flowers. They're a little more similar to the actual Clayman. But yeah, there's really not much to say about these things, which is really frustrating because they're said to herald in like a new era. So it seems like they would be like trying to herald in Mikola and or Malenia since they're here. And in retail, of course, we do have them in Lanedell. The other commander, Niall, has another Mikola-related item. Does he? It's just the prosthetic. I don't remember if it says anything about Mikola. Oh, the half of the medallion. Oh, yeah, that's true. I was just thinking of the prosthetic. I think Spigot was trying to say that they're the same form of being as an Alabaster Lord, or some form of it. Either way. Vacuous feels as though the frenzy flame relates to Gnosticism, like the one great is the monad and the greater will is the demiurge. Yeah, I don't really know how I feel about the frenzied flame, just because I can't really bring myself to trust Hayata despite everything. I was gonna say, these things are pretty resistant to bleed. Like, obviously they can still bleed, but a little stronger against it than I would have initially expected. I'm trying to remember if there's any, like, special items. I don't think there's, like, any actual, like, special items in this area. But, to be fair, I guess I could still use, like, upgrade materials, like the large polar smithing stones. Now, this is where I just came from. Yeah, because I normally just drop down there rather than, like, dealing with everything. I will say, like, farming for the Great Oracle Envoy Horn was one of the worst farming experiences in any of the FromSoft games that I've played. It was just not fun. Because there's literally only two, or well, technically three of these dudes in the game. Oh, I'm out of juice. You always thought like Goldmask looks kind of like an Alabaster Lord? Interesting. I don't feel like that. Maybe just because like the tattoos and the coloration of his skin looks a little bit different. David Mitchell, welcome back. And Spoonbender. Frenzied Flame strikes David as one of the big mysteries remaining. It seems straightforward in application, but its overall place in the story is very obscure. I can agree with that. Their headgears here? Oh, you might be right. That kind of rings a bell. Oracles are just fancy Albinaurics, maybe. They don't actually bleed the same kind of silver as an Albinauric, at least in this version of the game, so they might meant to be different. Oh yeah, I forgot about that dude. Oh. Animation got me. So let's go ahead and get the side of grace before we go all the way up there and deal with all that nonsense. What's the way you're actually supposed to do this? Either way. Actually, if I would have just died there to fall damage, I would have been a little bit salty. That was a little bit risky of me. So I'll talk about these statues when we come back here. I just want to go back up and kill some of those things before respawning everybody. Asenex always wondered how they topped the swamps in Dark Souls 3. You suppose an area that was like the Great Hollow, only longer and with worse enemies, was how? Oh, he followed me down? And as we go along the Haligtree, we're going to run into more Miranda flowers, Scarlet Rotlins, damn it. Well, we did get to buy a decent amount of the boluses from one of the merchants who just had an infinite supply. So this one, how do we go over there? Go that way. Okay. Again, just align the head with where you want to go. Take the leap of faith. What is that? Oh. Actually, yeah, I could use that. I should have used my flask before killing that. It's so strange to me that these plants actually bleed. I guess I'm being rotted by an invisible cloud. That's cool too. Alright, I'm in it. Poison Bloom and Miranda Flower? Not a surprise. Whoa. That almost like just got me somehow. That was so strange. So maybe the Oracle Envoy head hood thing is in between all three of these dudes? Or are there four? I'll be honest, I mostly just farmed this with Malenia's waterfowl dance because it was really fun. Oh, that was a lot easier. These things I have like no health. Did they get buffed later on? Holy crap, you gotta be shitting me. I was afraid that we're gonna have the streamer look. Ugh. I spent literal hours farming this thing. My first playthrough, and I was like, screw that, I'm going to just dupe it so I could power stance it if I ever wanted. Streamer luck. Yeah, you still don't have it. Well, let's see if the lore is here in this version of the game. I can't believe we got the big one before even any of the small ones. We literally only fought 2 of these things. Wait. I don't even see it. Oh. That's the Colossals are further down. Okay. Huh, okay. Band Golden Horn of the Oracle's Envoys. Profoundly weighty, its blows are sure to be felt. Though originally an instrument, it could not be sounded by humans who found another use for it. Perhaps the time of its signal is merely yet to come. This is slightly different. Oh, and the skill is Glintstone Burst. So that's interesting as well. We get to see another drop just to see me get closer to madness. Yeah, and then we also picked up the Envoy's ashes, which I think are slightly different. I'm trying to remember where they at. Wait, where are they? When did we pick up Carman? What? Okay, Oracle Envoy Ashes. Summon the spirits of 4 Golden Order dissenters from nearby rebirth monuments. Okay, so that's a little bit more insightful, but not terribly so, because they want to herald in a new age. But really, where did we get Carman's ashes from? Was it in one of the caves? Maybe the consecrated snowfield one that I don't actually remember going through? Even though I did it on stream, obviously. Okay, anyway. Yeah, I'm still kind of floored that happened. And also, Spectre, welcome back. I don't think I said it in the midst of my disbelief. So there's no item here. This probably should have had something. Maybe it was just like a rune arc. So we've seen this kind of statue before when we picked up the Amber Starlight. Oops. When we picked up the Amber Starlight. And this is most likely supposed to be Malenia on top because the female is missing an arm and Mikola beneath her. Because it looks like a child and they're clutching each other. But does this one actually have Mikola's braid and whatnot? If it does, I think that might be why we can compare it to like the DLC image. No, they just have like little circlets on or something like that. Okay. It's kind of crazy. They're in Volcano Manor. Okay, thanks, David. It has a version with a third person. Who do I think it is? I'll save it for when we get to it, because it'll only be like maybe 10 minutes, if that long. So coming into the Haligtree town area, we start to get some more unique like symbolism going on here. We haven't seen these statues anywhere. Honestly, this place kind of reminds me of like Rivendell, because it's like literally built into a tree and whatnot, and kind of has like elven looking architecture. But while this statue isn't shown anywhere else, it is kind of reminiscent of the ones in Ordina that you use to light into the Everjail, but they're different enough that they're obviously not the same. And so this is just kind of the repeating thing that we saw in front of this side of Grace. Holy crap, I knocked him far. I should probably level up. One, two, three. It seemed like a nice city to live in. Yeah, I wondered if it ever actually fulfilled its intended splendor, or if it was just kind of left to literally rot after the shattering and whatnot. Oh boy, the Leonine guy. I wasn't trying to target him. Unlock him. Whew. And this guy's oblivious to all that stuff. So yeah, these misbegotten are praying towards something. Like, you can see part of the Haligtree over there, but I mean, there's a bigger section over here, so I don't really know what their deal is precisely. And then we get some fungal boys that are kind of like the ones you can see over in Caelid. It did have splendor for a period of time. Yeah, and Mikola... Wait, is the Misbegotten killing a fungus boy? What is he chopping? Just nothing? Okay. We get some rock grease. I feel like there should have been more items over here. Maybe they added them later. So yeah, this is where the Leonine Misbegotten was chilling before he so rudely dropped down on us. This guy should have had it. Maybe he's supposed to be chopping this. No, that's where we got the rock grease. I'm an idiot. Literally just picked that up. Okay. Hey, Spectre, nice. You beat Malenia. On your 9th try? That's really good, man. Unironically, I crashed on her for a long time with my Unga Bunga build. But they also buffed him quite a bit. I felt bad for beating Malenia because I was using some Spirit Ashes. Don't remember. Maybe it was the Mimic tier. So then I had to make up for it by staying the same level and going into New Game Plus and just soloing her. So that took a lot longer than probably just normal. Alright, so this is the top section. There's not too much over here, so we'll drop down. These guys are so slow, it's kind of funny. So these things are most likely commoners that have transformed over time. So there is a real mixture between the Misbegotten and the commoners in the Haligtree area. But we don't get Omen, which is kind of interesting. Wait, where's our dude? I thought he should be on this side of the thing. Oops. You wish the game had a boss refight system other than New Game. Yeah, for sure. The chalices were good for one thing at least. Yeah, although the chalices didn't allow you to fight every boss. But yeah, I totally agree. And like I've said before, I thought the Everjails would have allowed for that to happen. But yeah, that's I really wish that they would add in like more challenge mode options after like completing the game once. It's kind of like one of my biggest complaints about these games. Because they're extremely good, but they could be so much better if they just opened up a bit more. Agreed, Spectre. Okay, so as we come into the Haligtree, we get some of the most interesting candelabras here. And this will also show up in Elphael as well. Hey guys, look. It's a candlewood. So this is pretty much a carbon copy of the candlewood trees, which I typically call like elfin trees, because I don't really think there's meant to be a difference between a candlewood and a lampwood. Because these kind of trees function exactly how the Helfin is described in Helfin Steeple. I'm trying to remember if this was different. Yeah. The lampwood, which guides the dead of the spirit world. The lamplight is similar to grace in appearance, but it is said that only those who died in battle can see it. The Japanese is a little bit different. And maybe, this could just be a versional difference, where it says, like, only those who were renowned in battle can see it. So it literally means, like, if you see a ghost next to one of these trees that goes into the catacombs, that's supposed to have renowned ashes as a reward. And just to like clarify what renowned ashes are, if we look at our spirit ash list, these things are unrenowned things, and then things like Latenna are renowned. So, or Lutel, rather. Maybe Latenna is as well. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that these things are all renowned. Yeah, Oleg, for sure. So what it really means by like a renowned thing is they kind of have more of their memories in Spirit Ash form, I guess. It's a little bit strange. It's like they remember more of themselves, so that's like they have more of a name in death, so that's why they have more renown. Hey Clown, welcome back to the stream. Another Sekiro dub? In what? Oh, just the boss rush mode. Marco Maselli, welcome to the stream. You recently played through the Bloodborne DLC for the first time? Forgot the struggle and joy without summons. Orphan of Cost took you like a week. Yeah, the Bloodborne DLC is really good. And there's typically at least one struggle boss for a person. I should have kept charging. Hefty Beast Bone. So yeah, there are like 2 Helfin statues in here, or candelabras in here, by the way. Actually, wait, I don't think I've ever really paid attention to these little banners. Oh, they've got a Haligtree symbol on them. That's cool. The texture is a little bit wonky. This does look really cool. Maybe it's supposed to look like the bark of a tree. I'm a little bit skeptical, but if so, that'd be really cool. Yeah, for me on Bloodborne's DLC, because I'd already played the game on the base cycle, I had to go into New Game Cycle, or New Game Plus, to do the DLC. And I got crushed by Ludwig my first time through. Maria and Orphan of Kos didn't give me really much trouble. I almost would have one-shot Orphan of Kos, but because I'd heard so much about him, I backed off on the 3rd phase to just kind of watch his attacks, and then like the lightning ended up killing me because I didn't know what it was. But then I just killed him my 2nd try. So it was a little bit anticlimactic for me. And I was using the cane that playthrough, but when I went back through the game on a different character and I was using the Shikage, holy crap, it probably took me like 100 tries to actually defeat the Orphan. So sometimes like weapon choices can really just make or break a playthrough or like a boss. Because at first, I'll be honest, like I disrespected the Orphan as of my 1st and 2nd tries killing him. Okay. Shriyesh Manan? Almost sounds like a Borat name. No offense if that's like your actual name. You love the game in general, but hate all the fights are, in the end, just about learning when to roll. Bloodborne? Yeah, I could see that. But a lot of the fights you can also parry. And the thing that I think really separates Bloodborne from a lot of the other games is the rally mechanic and just how well implemented the... what's it called? The limb break mechanics were. I think it really elevates a Bloodborne step above the other games. So this just is where we ignored, but there is a little ladder up here. Ludwig kept DSP out of Bloodborne for a long period of time. What is DSP? I feel like I'm being set up for a joke. Let's just go nowhere? Okay. Oh, this would have gone back to that section. That makes sense. Or is this different? I'm all confused. Okay. Oh, right, yeah. This is definitely where we first came through. And then I just trekked back to show off those other things. Every time I go down like one of the larger ladders in a FromSoft game, I just think of the meme video of Bloodborne, where somebody just added in like the sound effects of somebody like hitting their head with the golden ardeo for each like little rung of the ladder. Oh. Oh, wow, I actually got. That's kind of embarrassing. Oh, well. Miss Ellie says, Ludwig wasn't much of a struggle or Maria. Orphan was just learning the attacks and taking almost no damage in the first phase. Second phase shrug, he just rolled and he seemed to keep jumping. David says, mycology facts. Most of the mushrooms you see on the tree are called polypores or shelf fungi. Though they sometimes grow on living trees, many also grow on dead wood. Are you talking about the ones that look like almost like tentacle suckers, like these kind of things? Hey, we got another iron cleaver. The thing that got arena. Not again. The broad, flat ones that you can stand on are polypores. Cool. So this is so weird. Like, if I'm like walking up while I'm crouching and then try to R2, or maybe it's like when I stop, it just doesn't. Yeah, okay, it just doesn't trigger. That's so strange. I'm animation locked. But if I keep running, I'm fine. That's what I get for like delaying. Swinks. Now let's pick up my runes. May as well just like run past these guys for a second and get the Side of Grace. I forgot to put on the assassin thing, Crepus's Vial, because I put on the magic resist for Estelle. I have enough to level up again. Yeah, as soon as you get the Haligtree area unlocked, you just fly with your levels. Oh, you get a lot of FP for that. A little bit more than I would have expected. I was like trying to find the Leonine Misbegotten to see if I angered him, but I did. Bleed and Frost are, I think, the part of the reason they're so OP is because of the way that they can stagger so many enemies. Alright, so this is not the statue, it's further on. Ancient Dragon Smithing Stone. Alright, so that completes the first little section of the Haligtree town. Now down here we have some more of the commoners, as well as a Misbegotten, and then some ants. Large somber polar smithing stone. We angered the flowers. Alright, but we can just go ahead and rest before dealing with the ants. Trying to remember where the 3-person statue is. Holy crap, that did a lot of damage. It was almost like getting shot by a prawn. Wow, holy crap. So for all that trouble, we just get an Ionian butterfly. But with that, we can go this way. Not that we couldn't just like hop down to begin with. So these things do bleed as well, but they bleed a more dullish red color. That's probably supposed to show that they've been inflicted with rot. The spirit calling snails here, ooh, I almost thought I fell off, can summon crystallions, which is super crazy to me. Uh-oh. Should have just kept stomping. Where's the third one? Is it over here? Yeah. Ooh. So I wonder if they can summon crystallions, does that mean like crystallions are spirits? Does that just kind of reinforce the idea that glintstone and spirits should be related? Maybe. But to be fair, I don't really know if that like should apply to the Godskin duo that we saw the other one summon. Fudge. Gravity wins again. Alright. So we'll go a different route this time. Golden smithing stone. So maybe I am supposed to just jump in there that way. Or is there a platform over here? Okay, I didn't think so. So I just sucked at jumping, I guess. That's very pretty. There we go. So I lied about going a different way. So we do get some more of the Helfin type candelabra as we progress through here. And here I thought they were going to be like not really hostile. That's what I get for actually being merciful for once. Viridian Amber Medallion +2. I don't think we've gotten any of the other Viridian ones. No. But it pretty much just says the exact same. Wait, the little sigils are different? I never noticed. So that's like a drop. These are like roots. And that's just like a flower? I guess the turtle kind of looks like has the roots going on it too. That's interesting. Alright. So, internally, like these little webbed cocoon looking like things are supposed to have the bodies of people in them. So this one's a little bit more obvious because you can see the head. Right there. Of it like hunched over. And I don't know if this is true, but I think I heard or I saw like some of these are supposed to have like albinoric bodies in them. That one just takes us back up there. No real reason to linger over here. The golden smithing stone. So there's nothing really down here. Sacramental blood? Ooh, he didn't attack me? I think his AI must have been broken. Got one stomp left, but we should be fine. So this statue over here is slightly different, and this one might be meant to show Mikola. Or maybe this is the one that we saw by Ordina. Actually, don't ever remember seeing these. Howdy the cat, welcome back in. Oh, you don't like the UI in the network test? Like the stats bars look so weird? It looks much more used to, and like the golden patterns on it better. Same as the Ordina one? Okay. So this one just has a closed eye. Damn it, we angered the casters. So for whatever reason, there are some Raya Lucarian dudes over here, which might, suggest, holy crap, more of a connection between Raya Lucaria and the Haligtree, and could lead into theories of Runala's Rune of the Unborn potentially being related to Mikola, because it looks mirrored to Malenia's Great Rune, which would just kind of match how I rolled way too soon. I should have just rolled behind him, or just stomped. Keep the offensive going. Yeah, they're the Raya Lucarian secret police. Maybe they're investigating something. Well, they seem to just be chilling, which, it shouldn't be too much of a surprise that there could be more of a Raya Lucarian connection to the Haligtree stuff, because Loretta is over here as well. I forget what those dudes are actually called. I just kind of always called them Hugues because of the one set of spirit ashes. Where's the other one? Oh, there it is. Alright, so to avoid... I thought the branch went all the way. We could have just walked around to avoid it. Maybe it's a different window or something like that. Or maybe I'm just misremembering. I thought I just fell to my death there too. Glintstone vibing. Usually sneak through the window to get behind the mage. You mean the window that I just fell through? Dude, if he would have shot me out of the sky like a duck, I would have been impressed. I wouldn't have even been salty. Almost didn't make that, but we're good. So yeah, there's 2 or 3 caster guys in this section of the game. Budge. My sneak attack. Frostbleed OP. Albinork Blood Clot, very thematic. Budge. There we go. Polar Smithing Stone. We still need the large ones. Alright, so now we get our shortcut elevator back up to the first side of Grace. Honestly, I'm always like a little bit impressed how they kind of incorporate shortcuts back into the games that don't just end up being a closed off door. But I guess like an elevator is essentially just a closed off door, just a little bit reskinned. Parkour! Exactly. Oh, okay, howdy. Your grammar is a little bit bad. It's okay, it happens. You like it how there's the gold speckles on the new stat bars and HP for the enemies. Yeah, it is a little bit strange looking at this. Like, it just feels so bare bones, I guess. But that just goes to show how much more work they actually put on into the game between it being gold and it like actually being released. Because it did get pushed back a month, so even beyond that, they obviously like kept updating it and stuff. So these are just like tree stumps on the bottom. He's got the Unga Bunga Club, for sure. These battle mages were the bane of your existence your first run? Oh, really? Yeah, I didn't ever have too many issues. Well, it also helps to have like Krapus's Vial so they don't really hear you if you're running by. But I ended up sneaking around my first way. You like how the battle mages insist on the club instead of an intelligence weapon? There's a weird commitment in that. Game's chock full of little philosophies. Yeah. Alright, so now we get to the 1.0 version of Loretta. And her armor set will say something a little bit different. And we'll need to remember to go back to Ania to pick it up, I think. Okay, that's the other statue. So, ironically enough, I think this version of Loretta is easier to deal with. Because she's corporeal, meaning she can be frostbitten and bled. Holy crap, she does damage though. Unfortunately, I can't really show it off super well in the battle, but one thing that's strange to me about her specifically is her weapon, because her glaive there has, oh damn it, like a red gemstone at the very end of the hilt where she's like shooting us from, which is supposed to be unalloyed gold or whatnot. But all the other depictions of unalloyed gold are more amber looking. Loretta's Mastery. Oh, you're intent on fighting Mage v Mage. Yeah, that could definitely be a little bit more difficult. So as we come up here, we do get like the depictions of the Erd Tree, which meant to be relevant, because we don't really get these anywhere else in the Haligtree. They might be somewhere, but anyway. Apparently there's also these tombstones, which honestly I've never really bothered to look at. which is more Haligtree or Erdtree symbolism. Alright, so you guys were asking about this statue, and maybe it's a little bit longer than 10 minutes. Oops. But anyway, we have what looks like it should be Miquella on the left and Malenia on the right, although they're like both in child form. I wish I had the free cam to like show it off. And the identity of the person on top is ambiguous. Because of the long hair, some people believe this is a more feminine figure and should therefore be akin to Marika. Others believe this should be Radagon, but the hair doesn't match either Marika or Radagon very well. Nor do like the little circlets and everything like that. So some people have hypothesized that this could be Godwyn. And if so, that really sets people's minds aflutter in trying to conceive of what the DLC is going to be like with the potential connections between Godwyn and Miquella. So this is a cool statue, and we don't really get too many of them. And of course, if that is Godwyn, it would mesh well with how Miquella wishes him to die a proper death in the Golden Epitaph item description, which I didn't bother to pick up in this version of the game. In this playthrough, I should say. Alright, let's go to the round table hold and see what Ania's got for us. Loretta is an Albinoric, right? No. The person on top is Godwyn. You're a fan of that? You want more Godwyn content in the DLC? Alright, so we didn't get a remembrance from her, but Ania should have her set, which is called the Royal Guard set. Alright. Silver Helm of the Arbor Sentinels who serve the sacred tree of Miquella, the Scion Empyrean, features a huge circular wood crest. Hailing from Raya Lucaria, these enchanted knights once belonged to the Carian royal family, but were later gifted to Miquella, recipient of the vision, by King Consort Radagon. So going back to what we were saying with the battle mages and their connections to Raya Lucaria, this is made a bit more explicit in this version of the game, and obviously this was changed quite a bit compared to what we get with Retail and Loretta. The lapis blue trimmings reveal these origins. And then gauntlets. So either way, this does show that like Raya Lucaria Knights did have more connections to silver. So that's actually a really big difference from like the Retail description. I don't remember where we actually get her Warglaive from. If we don't get it there. Oh yeah, we also picked up Loretta's Mastery. Fires many piercing shots from a glintstone bow. Arbor Sentinel Promenade. I think this also got renamed then. I wonder if there's any significance to these things. But these are probably just the pillars that we see. No, because this would be the outer wall. Well, maybe. Do I think there used to be 3 trees? Giant normal tree, then was taken over by the Crucible tree, then the Erdtree took over. The reason why you think there's a 3rd tree before the others is because of the buildings at the 4 belfries. Or belfries. And the Ulu, however you spell it, runes. Ulu? Alright. Yeah, I don't really know if there was a tree before the Erdtree or not. Like, I'm not opposed to it, but I also don't know if we actually have enough evidence to say for sure that it existed in a similar capacity to the Erdtree. Like, I would like to believe it, but one thing that gives me pause about that is there's a painting in Stormvale Castle that shows the state of Stormvale before Stormvale Castle existed, and it shows the Limgrave Divine Tower, but there is no Erdtree in the background. And what does that have to do with this other tree? Well, if there's no Erd tree, there's also not like another kind of great tree in its place in that painting. And this is something I bring up fairly often in the stream. And it is possible that it could just be like an artist rendition of what the world may have been like, but who knows? Yeah, I didn't think there was any items up here. It always felt like there should have been something like more significant, but there's nothing. They might have added like another throwaway item in retail, but nothing too crazy. Alright, so as we descend the elevator, we get brought to Elphael, Brace of the Haligtree. And so what it means by the Brace of the Haligtree is when you look at these pillars and whatnot, these ones are just kind of seem ornamental. It doesn't really look like they're doing anything, but maybe they are just like bracing the outer wall from like sinking into the sea. But as we look towards this direction, you can see that it's kind of like braced up in a circular pattern against the Haligtree. So it's supposed to have kept it upright. And so the Haligtree was either like lopsided or just because it's a spiral, it was never very stable. And it seems like this brace would have been created in the time that like Miquella was still within the tree and everything. This almost looks like a carbon copy of something you'd see in Irithyll. Obviously there's just like more vines and stuff on it, but I'm pretty confident this is like the same building. Actually, I've never looked at the statues over here. I'm pretty sure they're used. So as we come into Elphael proper, we start to be accosted by Clean Rot Knights. Now I'm curious. So that's a little bit different. I don't ever recall seeing the staff person on a statue in any of the FromSoft games. And this guy, I might just be remembering him from Elphael, but I feel like I've seen him before as well. So this thing right here almost looks similar to something that you'd find in Fair Missoula. And those are just some nondescript trees. And one of the dangers with like looking at the architecture so closely is some of the assets are reused or just like they come from third-party developers. So it's kind of tough to say how much stock we should place into looking at everything like this. Because, okay, this pillar right here, the design on it, we'll see it a little bit further on later with a bit more detail, has appeared in Path of Exile, apparently, which is just kind of extra hilarious to me. Okay, that's where I've seen that dude before. He's got a little baby on him? That's goofy. This is one of the best areas in the game. Yeah, I agree. So as we come up here, oh, maybe that's what that statue's supposed to be. We get the weird dude that kind of reminds me of the old Dynasty Elden John guy. And we have two Helfin candelabra in front of like a tomb or like an altar or something. Oh look, there's like little angels in the thing. Okay. Okay, this is what the Haligtree banner is supposed to look like. So yeah, the textures were just off earlier. That's cool. Alright, and since we've done Millicent's quest, she has appeared here in the chapel. And we'll talk to her in just a moment. The babby holding on for dear life. Here I am just looking at more architecture and stuff. It's kind of hard to get her to like... be more photogenic for the camera. There we go. Oh. Oh yeah, and then like as soon as I walk, it's gonna zoom in on her, so I'm gonna like need to move and screw it up all over again.
Again we meet. I can only surmise our purposes are aligned. In which case, allow me to explain myself. I am of Malenia's blood, but in what capacity I know not. I could be sister, daughter, or an offshoot. Whatever the case though, I am certain of a kinship between us. There is something I must return to Malenia. The will that was once her own. The dignity. The sense of self. That allowed her to resist the call of the Scarlet Rot. The pride she abandoned. To meet Radahn's measure. There is something I must return to Malenia. The will that was once her own. The pride, as a human, to resist the call of the Scarlet Rot.
Alright, so Millicent's dialogue here is extremely important, and unfortunately, it's also secondhand information, so you just kind of have to take it at face value, which isn't something I particularly enjoy doing when analyzing the lore. Because we've seen time and time again characters being ignorant, whether they've been deceived by others or just like due to the places that they've grown up in, or just not having the full picture. So it's kind of hard to take a lot of what they say at face value, in my opinion. But with Millicent specifically, she talks about how she wants to return the will that once belonged to Malenia. And for the longest time, I didn't understand like what that really meant and how they were tied together. Because she does say she's of Malenia's blood to some degree, which we don't really know how. And with Millicent having like 4 other sisters, or maybe it's 5, and they're all like kind of referred to as buds by Gowry. We should talk to him. It's questionable, like, if she's Malenia's daughter, if she's literally supposed to be like a bud, like a literal offshoot of a flower, or something that was like birthed more naturally like a person would be. So going back to that idea of Millicent being the recipient of Malenia's will, that could be related to her having the unalloyed gold needle, because if that needle was originally in Malenia, which I think we should take that position, because when you get Millicent's needle and bring it back to Malenia's flower, it says return the gold needle to Malenia. So if Millicent's getting Malenia's will from the gold needle, it could just mean that the needle itself is infused with willpower or gold, and that's kind of where a lot of my basis for thinking that the gold is tied to the will comes from. It's essentially from this dialogue. And to go along with that a little bit further, she mentions how Malenia abandoned her pride to fight Radahn. There's a small difference in the Japanese where rather than saying she abandoned her pride, it's more like Malenia abandoned the restraints that she had so she could fight Radahn. And what I took from that to mean is that Malenia probably had the golden needle that we get from Millicent in her body, but knowing that she would need to fight the strongest of the demigods, she realized she couldn't handicap herself, and that she would actually have to use the Scarlet Rot to its full potential to meet Radahn on the field of battle, which I actually makes me like Malenia a lot more as a character, because while you fight her and get your ass beat by her, she says that, you know, she's undefeated and she's the Blade of Mikola. Everybody knows that. So, knowing that she actually measured the risk of facing Radahn in his full might and came to the conclusion that she probably couldn't beat him without resorting to drastic measures, makes me regard her a bit more favorably, just because it's not so arrogant that, like, in the way that she kind of comes across in her boss fight. So if Malenia had that needle, she might have snapped it when she either like stabbed herself to unleash the Scarlet Ionia, or maybe something along those lines. And then O'Neill must have like picked it up later, and then Gowry used blood to repair it and allowed us to put it into Millicent. So there's a lot of really weird stuff that goes into this, and this is why it took me so long to produce my video about gold and silver, because it's just so nebulous, and it takes a lot of recontextualizing certain things to make everything really work together, I think. So, as we've seen in Beast Blood, blood can hold gold to some degree, so maybe that's how Gowry repairs the unalloyed gold needle, by infusing it with blood, because blood can contain gold, and if gold has willpower in it, then like that means the will is also in the blood. Hey guys, Bloodborne, but not really, slightly different. And maybe that's why like bleed is such a debilitating status effect. So there's something else, and I felt like it related to Placidus Axe. Well, there's the gold and the dragons, and oh yeah, the dragon hearts. Maybe they don't say so much in this version. Yeah, okay. So the retail version of this description mentions how the heart continues to beat vivaciously. Oh no, it's right there. It's just in the first part. It has a bizarre shape modeled by gravel, and it continues to beat vivaciously. So we know that the dragons have like the scales of immortality, which is kind of similar to what you get in Dark Souls and everything. But I think one major difference between the scales in Elden Ring and in Dark Souls, and you know, maybe they're similar to some degree, is that the gravelstone itself, oh, we don't have the gravelstone seal, is said to be imbued with gold, and that's why it has like the power of lightning. So these are composite stones, but this is the same thing. Gravelstone has gold within it, and so my thought is, going back to the dragon heart, the gravel stones within the heart itself have gold, so the gold is keeping the heart alive, which is why it continues to beat vivaciously despite not being in a body. So I think like blood can contain gold, and it can contain life, which is why we saw those little pustules in like the Mogun Palace and in the consecrated snowfield with like the little beast bones in them. That's probably why they can continue to exist, because they're probably animated by gold to some degree, because they have runes. So you could just say like anything that has runes is kind of like kept alive for a while, which is, you know, very similar to the whole hollowing and souls mechanic of Dark Souls. Just kind of repurposed, go figure, right? So yeah, if the gold contains willpower and everything, that could also tie into how Miquella's gold needle will allow us to purge the frenzy flame, because our will is being controlled by the three fingers, sort of, to a degree. And maybe just by regaining Malenia's indomitable will, we have enough willpower to stave off the three fingers. It's kind of what I was thinking. It is the core of my gold and silver video, without like going into the silver stuff so much right now. So the Urnia at night hits so good, man. It actually might be the best in the game. I'm a fan of Caelid, to be honest.
There is something of the will, the pride, as a human, to resist the call of the scarlet rot.
Oh, this is different. So her dialogue doesn't match the subtitles.
There is something of the will that was once her own. The pride, as a human, to resist the call of the scarlet rot.
Okay, I think that's just a little bit of a localization change. Because, like, as a human is probably a more literal take on it, but I would agree that it's more like the sense of self. So yeah, having enough willpower gives somebody a sense of self, which kind of ties back into what we had just mentioned a little bit earlier in the stream with the spirit ashes. how the renowned ones have more fame because they have more memories. And I don't remember exactly where that information came from. It might have been one of the loading screen tips, actually, or it might have been the tutorial for something. So forgive me for not remembering exactly where that came from. And unfortunately, it might also just be like limited to the Japanese. So source just trust. Wow, source just trust me, bro. All right. Holy crap, we have a ton of runes. If you look at Miquella's golden needle, it doesn't even look golden, more silver. You think it used to be Saint Trina's needle, but it probably got cut alongside most Saint Trina's stuff. Yeah, it undergoes some transformation within like Malenia's thing, which is odd. Like, I don't exactly know what separates Miquella's... Oh, that's strange. What separates like the Miquella needle from the other unalloyed gold ones. So as we come into the Haligtree, we're going to actually get the Haligtree soldiers. I really like what they did with the design of the soldiers throughout the game. While they are obviously like a kind of reused enemy to a degree, they are given a lot more variety in their attacks between each area. I just wish that the first ones that we fought with like Godric weren't like such pushovers. I wish they had kind of their own mechanic to set them apart. And kind of the same with like the Cuckoo Knights. They're just a little bit bland compared to these ones. Because at least like the Lindell ones use incantations a bit more. Finally, more of the large polar smithing stones. Oh, that was a weird way to fall, but okay. I didn't realize I could jump like that. So that one was using like a Lordsworn's greatsword. I think the other one had like a Lordsworn shield. So we just went up there. Those are those steps. How is that dude oblivious? And yeah, these guys have like the Haligtree surcoat on, so you can see the sigil for it. But their helms are said to be made of unalloyed gold, and they're like super yellowy, which is why the depiction of Loretta's war spear or scythe or whatever it's called is a little bit off-putting to me. Alright, let's go deal with the big boy over there and hate life. Damn, we're already at 111,000. The first time I fought one of these ulcerated tree spirits, or tree avatars, it took me so long to beat it, because I went to Caelid when I was like really low leveled, honestly, and I just didn't understand the range on this attack. So it took me way longer than I should have to figure out how to avoid it, I think. I'm stuck. Oh no, oh no. Okay, I thought that was the one where I was going to shoot a bunch of projectiles. Almost. Seems... I was literally about to say this seems less lethal. But then I just died. Hey Stella, welcome back to the stream. Why do I think things are being cocooned? That's a good question. I'm not sure, to be honest. Like, you'd almost associate it with bugs or something. Not like game bugs, but like literal bugs. But there's really not a lot of those shown here if they do exist. Do you like how their helmets have some references to their factions? Like Miquella's Knights have braids, Redmane's have lion jaws, and the Cuckoos have a feather? Yeah. Miquella's in one in Moog's Palace. Yeah, no, I get the Miquella thing, but I just don't know about like the random ones that we see all throughout here. So we get the Ancient's Rune, and we already picked some up from the Moog Palace. Oh yeah. One of the other things about like these putrid avatars is that their staves that they wield can have like what almost looks like a candlewood on it, which is probably just supposed to be like the Haligtree sigil. But it honestly looks almost like there's supposed to be candles at the top of it, which does make me question like what the Haligtree is actually supposed to be. Holy crap. Because we do have the other depictions of the Helpin throughout here. Wasn't that supposed to shoot some holy projectiles? Oh, that did no damage. If it did the damage it was supposed to... Oh. Hopefully you guys got a little bit of a glimpse of what I was talking about. I was going to say, if it did the damage it was supposed to, it would have died in that one hit. So you don't really get much for killing those things, other than the satisfaction for beating them. Almost like an EA title. So you get this like Erdtree looking like thing around here. Now we should get a better image of the Path of Exile pillar. Yeah, at first I thought this was a lot more significant until I saw the post about how it was in a Path of Exile. Because we got like a lady looking like thing with like two snake spire and like a weird looking bird. Which is kind of a bummer. So this statue is also really cool for relief sculpture. You've got like a bunch of people or babies really, like playing in the roots of a tree. And then you've got two cherubim looking like things flanking another tree. But this isn't spiraled like the Haligtree is. So it's possible that the Haligtree in this area of Elphael could have been pre-Erdtree maybe? Or at least like a different society that just got appropriated. But I don't really know how I feel about that. But just throwing that out there. Maybe they're trying to follow Miquella's footsteps. Yeah, I would get that. I just don't know like mechanically how they'd change themselves into the things, the cocoons. Fudge. Still not far enough. Alright, well, let's wait for our mist to dissipate so we don't damage ourselves before dealing with this rotten crystallion. Depictions of Helphin in the Haligtree? Yes, Katie. I will show it when we, like, warp back to the bonfire, otherwise known as the Site of Grace. Damn it. I wasn't expecting that one. There we go. Large somber draconic smithing stone. Do we piss off the clean out? Yeah, okay. I don't remember. I think that jump's a lie. Maybe it isn't a lie. No, I think it's safe after all. Poison bone dart. Crepus's vial for the win. Oh no. I'm a little bit terrified, to be honest, but we should be good now. If my stomps don't get deleted in this room. Okay. It was a little bit sketchy. And this is just back towards the beginning area. So they have the Haligtree insignia when they buff their weapons, which is really cool. Immunizing quiet jerky. Little birds. Okay. Ben says, could the Haligtree be the Helphin? And is it possible that it used to be somewhere else, such as the center of the map? Then it got moved, kind of like the Eternal Cities. I don't know if it would have been the Helphin, because the Haligtree that we see here is spiraled. But the, Helphin trees that we encountered aren't. So they could have really just, walked back a few things, because a lot of the Mikola stuff got changed over development, obviously. Weird looking door. Got some more cocoons in here. Alright, Mikola's Rings of Light. Light rings slice enemy before returning to caster. It's a little bit unfortunate. The retail one talks about how he gifted Radigan some incantations. And then I think this might have been one of them, maybe not. Maybe it's Radigan's Discus of Light. But they they seem to have had a close relationship, all things considered, because they gave each other gifts. And obviously, as we saw in this version of the game, Loretta and the other Karian knights or mages came to this area to work for Mikola because of Radigan, I guess. Alright, Katie, if you are paying attention, we have what I would say are depictions of the Helfin within Elphael. And we also saw this up in the Canopy town, or whatever you want to call it, as well. These are pretty much carbon copies of the little spirit trees that you can see throughout the lands between that are blue. Radigan's Discus of Light also talks about it? Okay. Yeah, and Millicent is no longer here. She will have moved on. Oh yeah, let's go talk to Gowry before I forget. Guess I've never come this way. All right.
Oh, I didn't notice you there. Welcome. How may I help you? My apologies, though. You hardly needed to see me like that. Oh, it's just... I realized that I'd soon be saying my goodbyes to Millicent, and my eyes began to well. She is to meet them very soon, her sisters, and when she does, she'll be defeated, surely, and begin to flower. Which is why, if you happen to be present for the girl's fight with her sisters, I ask that you side with the sisters and kill Millicent. It must be done by your hand, no other. Millicent trusts you, rather deeply in fact. Sever that trust. Nurtured by betrayal, her bud will flower most vividly. When Malenia ascends to godhood, Millicent too shall be reborn as a scarlet Valkyrie. You can't tell me you don't wish to see it? The superior bud that is Millicent becoming the finest of flowers? I beg of you, kill her with your own two hands. You can't tell the side.
Swarm of threads. Alright, so Gowry gives us the info that Millicent has sisters if you didn't encounter Pollyanna. And this will kind of tie into her final quest line there. So he talks about how Millicent will become the finest of flowers to become a Scarlet Valkyrie if she gets betrayed by us specifically. So it seems like betrayal actually takes a really big component in kind of erasing one's willpower and allowing kind of external forces of control. And this isn't really me just saying that based off of Gowry's dialogue here. It also ties into... which... It's one of the Millicent talismans. It's not the Rotten Winged one. Is it like Millicent's prosthesis? Where it says, like, it's because of her despair that things turned out the way that they did. I'll need to look that up when we finish off her quest line.
Do you need me for something else?
Okay. I don't think resetting it changes here, but we might want to. It might be later on that we need to do this. You forgot that I think the spirit cheese are the same as the Helpin, which you still don't really buy. It's all good. You're confused as to what a Helpin even is.
Welcome. Oh, how I have counted the days. Millicent shall soon meet her sisters. You can't tell us right. When the time is ripe, do what you must to ensure Millicent dies.
Alright, So that's his dialogue there. Let's go back on over to the prayer room. So yeah, the Helphin, we'll pull out the Helphin steeple again. Obviously, the Helphin steeple doesn't look like this, so I'm not surprised if people want to believe that the Helphin is different than this. But at least as far as the descriptions go, they kind of align here. So, yeah, obviously these don't look anything alike. However, it's a great sword patterned after the black steeple of the Helphin, the lampwood which guides the dead of the spirit world. The lamplight is similar to Grace in appearance, but it is said that only those who died in battle can see it. And this uses like ghost flame and stuff, and so I do wonder if there is supposed to be more of a connection between like the Helphin stuff and the death birds, because they get sent into the catacombs where those who live in death reside. It's just all a conglomeration of factoids that just don't ever really align, no matter what you do with them. So sorry for being a little abrupt with that. But anyway, like the little spirit trees that we see in the game do kind of guide the dead to where they need to go, kind of like the Helphin description. I don't really think there's much reason to believe that there's another nondescript lampwood which performs the same task. Maybe there used to be, and it's just no longer a thing now. So like I'm open to there being variations there. Ooh. Alright, those dudes are going to come after me, but we don't need to deal with them. We're just going to hop on down. See here. Is the dog outside Gowry's shack meant to be guarding him? Maybe it's just his pet. But yeah, it kind of does have a collar on, so it's kind of just my headcanon that it's his pet. There's supposed to be branches on the sword? Maybe. And obviously, like, in less... how do I say this? In like a more meta lore, the whole like Helphin steeple is just kind of like a FromSoft staple. I was trying to think of a different word, but where like this weapon even kind of shows up in like Demon Souls, Clean Knight Finlay's Ashes. It also shows up in like Dark Souls 3 when you get it from Marlborough Man. I can't think of his actual name. I'm like Vinheim. Nope, that's not it. Vargrim. Nope, that's not it. Wilhelm? No, I think it is Wilhelm. Because I was like, it's just like Willem. Yeah, that might be it. So anyway, Finlay summons the spirit of a Clean Knight from nearby Rebirth Monument. So this one talks about, in retail, that Finlay was the one who carried Malenia back up to Elphael, essentially, on its own? Her own? Whatever Finlay is. So, a lot of people like to argue that Malenia lost because, like, Radahn's still kicking in his Madden state, whereas, like, she had to get carried off the field of battle as she slumbered. Hey, Dung Eater was here, Seedbed Curse. Which is kind of crazy to think about, like, how much he should have traveled to implant all these curses before he got locked away. I didn't think there was a thing over there. There might be, though. How do I think the Dung Eater got here? Probably just invading. Nah, I mean, I don't know. It would just be very thematic for him to have just, like, invaded people in the PvP zone known as Elphael. Yeah, I tend to like look at the game as like a shared multiverse, and that each Tarnished has like killed however many demigods that they needed to. Because otherwise it doesn't make sense that Gideon like just tells the brand new dude to kill a demigod and nobody else has done that in history. It's kind of a jerk move, but kind of also on brand for him, to be fair. Wilhelm's sword is more like the Godslayer's greatsword. Even the black flames are the same. I just mean the actual design of the weapon. Like, this is something that's just kind of appeared in multiple FromSoft titles under similar but different names. Alright. What did I just pick up? I thought it was something worth reading. Oh yeah, the helmets. Haligtree helm. Helm used by Knights of Mikola, the Golden Twin. Cool, Golden Twin. That almost makes him sound more like Godwin. Yeah, we're gonna get rotted because I'm not gonna run away from an invisible cloud that's suddenly not visible. Oh no, that's because of the little one behind it. Should probably put this on the quick bar now that we're here. Can I even imagine Dungeater solving the Ordina Everjail? Oh, it's beneath us that it's aggroed? That's silly. He's angry. What's the better way to approach this? Maybe this way? Oh, we get the goofy looking pillars again. Cool. Okay, can't go this way. So really only one way to go. I dead zoned him. It was kind of nasty. Of course we got the helm again. Oh yeah, I think these dudes can like imbibe physics, buff themselves. Hey, we got Clean Rock, Greaves, Leaves, Galeem. Oh no, it dodged. One thing that I really envy about the Cleanrot Knights is how they can wield the scythe in the left hand but still use the Ash of War for it. As though it was right-handed. That actually kind of tilts me a little bit. Can't be a true Cleanrot Knight cosplayer. Yeah, so I really like this room for like no particular reason other than it just being like a cool study area. It just has a vibe. Katie said, you mean Malenia had to snap the needle and surrender herself to Rot and not become the goddess of Rot was her and Mikola's ultimate goal, so she sacrificed everything and achieved nothing? Seems like losing to you. Hey man, she's never known defeat. Can't argue with that. You know, maybe that's more of a technicality. Maybe she always fought while she was asleep, so she never knew if she won or lost. But honestly, that is something that I've wondered, unironically, whether or not... Did these things all jump down? Where are the archers at? I've wondered whether or not Malenia, as the Blade of Mikola, would go to sleep so that way, like, Mikola could control her and all that. And so maybe she's like literally the Blade of Miquella that way. Already at 197,000. It's crazy. You like the feng shui of the room, right? Golden smithing stone? Okay. Before dealing with this stupid guy, let's see how much I can upgrade my thing. Feels like the cursor is slower in the totally zoomed out map. I do kind of wish there's like a speed up function other than just like zooming out.
Well, I took you no matter out your...
Let's talk a while. Ooh, I don't remember that one. Change of plans.
Are you having second thoughts? Might I have a word then? Your kind are meant to challenge them. To slay them. The demigods and their god. If you remain loyal to your calling, then no matter what you do, no matter what happens to me, I will never cease to smith your weapons until you have one to slay a god.
Right, and with Hugh's promise being to Queen Marika, as much as I dislike it, it still kind of goes along with the theme of the Glomide Queen wanting to kill the demigods and the gods, I guess. So, more potential ties between the two, as much as I dislike it. Six more.
Greetings, are you here for spirit?
Right, since we got rid of Dung Eater, there's really nothing left to do with her, as I thought. Let's check the bell-bearing twins. Guardian Filigree crest. This doesn't say anything. Okay. Gideon, maybe. I doubt it, but...
I see. So Miquella was with the Lord of Blood after all. That is some fine intelligence indeed. With it, the final clue has been brought into the light. One of the last few pieces the round table. I need to put everything together. As promised, allow me to impart to you the last of the secret rites, known only to me.
Law of causality.
So the secret medallions led you to the land of the Haligtree. I'd expect to find Malenia there. She who fought Radahn to a standstill. Well, if the scarlet rot hasn't eaten her away completely. But with the Haligtree as it is, I suppose Miquella must already be. My apologies. Lost myself for a moment there. The information you shared is of great value. As promised, your reward. A hidden treasure known only to me. A secret rite known only to me. You are a true fellow. All I ask is that you remain constant.
Yeah, so this has always really bothered me that he has a random God Slayer's incantation.
Well, I wonder what comes next. If he continues his slumber within the cocoon, all would be well. But perhaps it would be safer to destroy it. Nicola is the one thing that remains a mystery to me.
Oh boy. You could just use that as the quote for the DLC. Gideon must have some mad spine issues by now. He's got that gamer posture. Which I forgot to enable Nightbot to tell me to sit up straight. Yeah. And so Mikola was with Moog, maybe not entirely by choice, as Katie says. Maybe he's a random god slayer? Maybe. But let's look at those incantations. Law of causality. Doesn't say a dank thing. Although it's really annoying when Gideon uses it, for real. Raises defense but lowers heals amount. Okay. Back up to the Haligtree. Elphael, inner wall. And time to get stopped by the avatar thing here. Although, yeah, maybe we'll be able to look at his staff a little bit better. Okay, so at the very top of it, you've got like these ore-looking like things, which to me kind of resembles that of a candle. Jeez, I almost said like camera. But honestly, that's also just kind of reminiscent of the seal of the Haligtree. I don't think we have anything that can show it off super well. But actually, there are the banners in the prayer room, so let's go there. Gideon's the Glowmite Queen. Here you have it. So yeah, even up there's like the little things up top, which kind of like look like flames. But one odder thing about the depiction of the Haligtree here is like it does have the spiral thing, but it almost seems to be like encased in like a larger thing. So maybe that's true of these as well. So maybe there's like a spiral, there's spiraled inside them. Does it just kind of like starts? I don't know. Tell us your secrets. Uh-oh. Not dealing with that one. No siree, Bob. I know he can hit through the wall, so I'm not trying to stand next to that. I got stuck on the wall. I thought I would be able to roll away. I'm gonna die. Yeah, okay. I was just in a very bad spot. I thought I'd be able to like roll between him while he was in the air and the wall. I made some poor choices. He could have it as an insurance policy. He who also uses Black Flame Ritual in his fight. Does he? Yeah, I mean, he does use all of those incantations, doesn't he? Gideoness the Glowmide Queen, here you have it. Fudge. It's a terrible angle. Oh, is he going to do it again? This is blocked a little bit by the wall. I don't want to come out too far because of the two Haligtree knights in there. Let's try to angle it back over there. Okay, we should be good. Unless I do something silly like that. Oh god. So I think even when he does that ability, I'm going to get slammed. Oh my goodness, that was a little bit terrifying. And he missed. Okay. Oh, sweet, the hammer of Ra. I forgot he drops it. This is actually worth fighting, that one. Okay. Whew. Those ones are some of the toughest enemies in the game. I've seen tons of people continue to crash on these guys. Where is it? Okay. Ceremonial staff depicting the Erdtree and its historic radiance. It festers with scarlet rot. Wielded by the avatars who protect the minor Erdtrees. Now, obviously, I take this one's description to kind of just be wrong because of gameplay mechanic considerations rather than like actual lore stuff. Although, maybe somebody could make the argument that this does still depict the actual Erdtree. I don't really think that works for a few reasons, but I guess I can't like fully deny it either. Actually, maybe it's just better this way. Wait, these are clean rots? I thought they were Lindell, or not Lindell, but the Haligtree boys. Maybe that's a version difference. Either way, I wouldn't want to aggro both them and the avatar. No, they're definitely up there. Oh, we have to deal with revenants. I'll probably need to equip healing items, or incantations rather. Arteria leaf. And a golden one's rune. I'm glad they're not shooting at me. Right, we might have enough to level up, but we also want to switch out our incant. Okay, like 500 short. Raises AP and cut percent? What is AP? Armor potential? Attack power. Oops. I don't have enough faith. Maybe do I need to see Corin for those incantations? No, because Golden Order doesn't have healing. Would it be Muriel? I'm gonna go visit Muriel right quick. Just because I really don't want to deal with the Revenants. Like, normally. Although with Hoarfrost on, it's not too terrible.
Greetings. Do you need anything?
Oh, here's the Giant's Prayer Book. Yeah.
Oh, what have we here? Very well, let us both learn together. Heresy is not native to the world. It is but a contrivance. All things can be conjoined.
Besiege Aid. That's what we need. 24. Alright, so much for like leveling up. But we do have the Great Hood, so I could just like put that on. I think I must be missing a prayer book. I feel like this is a little bit higher level. Yeah, I'm just way too low. Okay. Whatever. Maybe I'll leave the Revenant section for later then. Not that this next section is much better. So, you can kind of cheese these dudes with the Silver Mist because they're not going to get aggroed. But let's put on a shield so that way we can at least parry some of these dudes. And the smarter thing to do is to just aggro one at a time. Smoke circle. I thought it wasn't going to connect through. Should have just kept attacking. I was trying to parry. Forgot that I like broke its posture. Alright, 2 damage. Good thing I used the kukri, which does more damage. I'm out of the stam. Oh no, I was trying to dual wield. Or not like dual wield, but dual hand. Okay. Oh, that was interesting. I was just trying to regain my stamina before I got back up. So you get nothing for killing them. I thought there was an item there, maybe not. Maybe they added it. But either way, I'm pretty sure it's insignificant for the most part. But now they'll have to learn not to just smoke there. Because smoking is bad, okay? So we get a smoldering butterfly. So this little goblet you can see in Lane Dell, it has like the golden trim leaves on it. There's a bunch of the cocoons. So maybe this was supposed to collect the sap of the Erd tree or the the Haligtree. Let me just list all the trees. I'll get it right eventually. And as we come out, like deeply inside the brace, we can actually see all the way down to where Malenia will be. Ooh, I almost fell off. And then you've got like this river waterfall of rot kind of going on, which it's like, where does this even really come from? Must come from like the tree itself. Drinking dream wine is bad, okay? Okay. We also get these random pink butterflies, which are really pretty, but you can't pick them up. As well as the Aeonian ones. And like tulips looking like things. So we saw this dude's statue in the prayer room in Elphael, and we've got like more skeletal figures surrounding him, which might tie into the idea that this place, Elphael, could be older than what's let on. Then we get the repeated Erd tree symbolism, although that might not actually be an Erd tree, who knows. It's slightly different from the other stuff that we've seen so far. I mean, we did see it like on the wall in Elphael, but just, I meant from the other areas in the game. Oh no, I just remembered. This is a slow walking swamp, isn't it? Yep. You know what that means. There we go. Get these things ready. They had to have one poison swamp in for old time's sakes. These things are a lot more red, I think. Maybe not. Maybe these ones are always like this. I just never really bother to look at them. Because I don't want to be in this area longer than I need to be. So I think there's like a treasure behind that wall over there that's not very good. So let's go ahead, skedaddle on over there and regret our life choices. Our treasure was an angry boy. I seriously thought there was an item, though. Please don't nest me. Okay. There really was nothing over there. Cool beans. So yeah, that's a better angle into the Malenia arena. And over there is where we'll go find Millicent in just a moment. But before that, let's go and heal ourselves. They're funeral flowers? Kala lilies? Oh, they're lilies? Cool. Yeah, Dream Liquor is definitely got content, Katie. The true treasures were the friends we made along the way. You'll throw yourself through the window now? Alright. Onward and not so upward. I guess we are literally going a little bit upward now. I missed my chance. That thing almost looked like a Steak of America to second. For me. I said that terribly. For a second to me. Then we got another Kindred of Rod up here, who will attack us if we leave him be. I think Kindred of Rot are really cool enemies. Alright, so going over there, you can see the little summoning signs. And as far as I know, they shouldn't show up until the avatar thing over here gets destroyed. Because I kind of missed Millicent's final part of her quest line when I was first coming through the Haligtree. I eventually found it like after the fact. But yeah. So if we drop down here, there's going to be a Ghost Glovewort or Great Grave Glovewort. I knew it was like the highest tier. And then our Angry Boy is going to come up. So as I was saying with like the Rykard fight and him having like the tendrils coming out of him, I do think you have kind of the same thing coming on with these things. So once he gets back in range, we can fight. Oh no. Okay, at least I didn't get knocked off. I'll be honest, I didn't really know about this strat, I just kind of did it. Golden Seed. A few of them in a vertical arena can be a challenge. Kind of interesting how there are Erdtree spirits and avatars. Yeah, maybe that's supposed to represent the differences in the Erdtree now that I think about it. But yeah, the Erdtree avatars are more snake-like. They kind of resemble a dragon a little bit more like the Erdtree avatar. And what else? Yeah, they do have like the tendrils coming out of them, which I think is kind of similar to the Rykard thing. So I do think there's probably a thematic overlap between what like Rykard is doing and what the Erdtree is doing. Alright. So with that out of the way, now we can go to help Millicent or to betray Millicent. So what do you guys think we should do? Hey, Sundry Saturn, welcome back to the stream. I almost just said Saturn, but we have another Saturn. How you doing? Chat decides. Actually, it's a lie. We're going to do both. Betray. So yeah, Millicent immediately starts getting got by her four sisters. So what are their names? We have Amy, third, Mary, eldest, and Pollyanna, the youngest. But the weird thing is, if you try to betray her, one of the sisters will be helping us. Or, well, we'll be helping her rather than the other way. Oh, this one has the flowing swords. That's cool. Millicent duking it out with Pollyanna, which is the one we can summon for the O'Neill fight. I need to help Millicent. Good job, Millie. Bloody finger vanquished. Yeah, so I don't think these things are actually bloody fingers. Wilsoni Mac, welcome in. We get accessory name for helping Millicent in this version of the game. And like I said, we can actually do both. Oh, fudge, did I screw it up? I screwed it up. I was supposed to betray her and then help. That's the order. I should, like, double-checked. Anyway, fudge. Yeah, if you betrayed Millicent, which I totally regret not doing now, you can actually just come back over and help her, which is really funny. And if you're so smart as to jump down here, you can actually do fall damage and kill her, as I actually have footage of. That was legitimately, if you guys ever saw my like meme video about it, like don't let it end like this, or I can't believe it ends like this, something like that. That was my actual first playthrough of doing the Millicent questline, where I just kind of rolled off this cliff and landed onto her, and then she died. And I just couldn't believe it. So if I didn't have multiple save states, like this quest would have completely broken for me, and I wouldn't have seen how it was supposed to have ended. So that's part of why I'm a big proponent for them to like actually add in a true saving system into the game. Oh yeah. You just noticed that? You never knew she had two flowing swords? I wonder if they changed it, because I don't remember seeing it that way either. And welcome back to the stream. Or welcome to the stream. I don't believe I've seen you chat before.
Oh. Hello. Thank you for lending your hand.
Her positioning is different.
I could not have defeated that quartet. I feel as if I've been in your debt from beginning to end. Thank you. With your help, I was able to live as my own person. If only in passing.
Gravity remains the most OP weapon.
But this is where things end. I paused to even tell you, but I took out the needle myself. Tell whoever put you up to this that if I am to flower into something other than myself, I would rather rot into nothingness as I am. Please, let me pass alone. The scarlet rot writhes now, worse than ever. Soon, I won't be more than a mound of flesh, curse-laden. Untouchable. I wouldn't want such a thing to bring you harm. Please, let me pass alone. The scarlet rot writhes now, worse than ever. Soon, I won't be more than a mound of flesh, curse-laden. Untouchable. I wouldn't want such a thing to bring you harm.
Alright, so obviously like the curse-laden stuff there doesn't really mean like an omen curse, which is part of why I say like they're kind of a little bit loose with how they handle the terminology at times. So our girl Millicent is down for the count and kind of festering with the rot. So we get the unalloyed golden needle from her again, and this is version 3, the final version. Sort of. The final version of this one, specifically. It's an untampered pure golden needle in this. I know the retail one mentions that it's, like, repaired. And if you look at the icon, it is repaired. Like, something about being repaired with the blood wasn't enough before, but now that it's been within Millicent, and she takes all of her willpower to choose to die as herself, that might repair this. It's a little bit strange how it's supposed to work and like why it gets repaired like this, whereas the Gowry failed. So I think it kind of just does come down to willpower. And so we give Millicent and Malenia her will, essentially, and this will transform it. So let's go ahead and fast travel on over to Gowry before I forget, and then we'll do Malenia. Hey Foster, welcome back in. You just came in and we were going to say points for not steamrolling over Millicent on the unpatched version, but these previous comments are hinting otherwise. No, I was thinking about betraying her because it doesn't matter if you do it in this version, because you can just go back as a cooperator, which is really funny. Oh yeah, we also got question mark accessory name question mark, so I'll try to read that when we get on over to Gowry. So at least in this version of the game you can get both talismans. They're both really good for what they do. And I think they might actually work with Hoarfrost Step. We can test that now. Actually, I don't remember if this legitimately works or not. Accessory info? Accessory caption? Okay, maybe not. Maybe it's direct hits. Oh, it just seems to be broken. Let's reset just to be safe. And then I might, like, attack him. And if I do attack him at this point, he will, like, stay permanently dead. Like, he doesn't transform into a Kindred of Rot like he normally does. Is that supposed to be the Rotten insignia on the sigil? I don't think so. Here's our pest threads. No, definitely not. Well, actually, I can kind of see what you mean by that now. No, I think they're different enough. But it does have, like, wings behind her like a Valkyrie. Okay. Block Canvas's Talisman and Gowry's Bell Bearing. So that part is a little bit more anticlimactic. It's unfortunate. So I think... Wait, isn't this supposed to passively restore dexterity? Or not just restore it, but increase it? So I think this might just be completely broken. Let me look it up. Kind of forget what it's actually called. Winged Sword Insignia. Raises attack power with successive attacks. Okay, so we'll keep it on, and then we'll fight the dog if it's still here. No. We need to fight something. We'll just go back to the place. And do a couple R1s. You meant the talisman, the Rotten Sword Insignia, you think it was called? You were asking if it is broken in this game. No, that one actually works. So this one is just, it doesn't work. But I have gotten the Rotten Sword Insignia on my 1.0 playthrough on my different character. Alright, so it does work, at least, effectively. Or were you just saying, like, the dexterity increase? You might be right about that. Alright. So we know that works, but just not on the Hoarfrost Stomp, which is, you know, understandable. Yeah, let's keep this on for a little bit longer. Let's go back to the drainage. Chanel. It's all good, Christina. As we come down here, we get to see a garden. And further along down there, there are a bunch of gravestones, which might also lead into supporting evidence for this place being a little bit more ancient than it really lets on. Or maybe bodies were supposed to be buried in the Haligtree, which doesn't really seem to make sense since like it's supposed to have been watered by Miquella's blood. They sent butterflies for Miquella. They're angry. How do we get over the way up there? I don't remember. And in this chapel itself, damn it, we've also got some more of like the Erdtree symbolism on. I don't want to call these like tombstones, like or sarcophagi. I don't know what you call them when they're just like on the ground like that. Graves, obviously. Poison bloom. So yep, Erdtree stuff. Or Great Tree, whatever you want to call it. I think we need to like jump up on top of the church to get that way. So I might have just screwed up. El Degusto, welcome back in. You think they're potentially imitating Erdtree burial. It seems like they should have had different functions. Oh, we actually do have some Haligtree boys for once. Because there weren't any above. Yeah, these knights are extremely powerful for just like a normal enemy. Oh my lord, they're tanky. Got. They seem to be tiles. I don't think so. They seem more like graves, like mausoleum type stuff. Why did I try to level up? Because I saw the runes that I had. I'm like, oh, you should level up. With all 0 runes in my possession. Okay. Did I get the Miquellan Knight Sword? No. I don't think it's actually up on the little ledge over there. But we'll go up there again shortly. Maybe not like too shortly, but before we like fight Miquella because of the elevator up there. Yeah, I wanted to jump on top of it. That's right. Don't believe there's anything up there. I'm just kind of looking around though. Just remember, guys, if you step on the flowers, you're going to catch holy hell. I say that because this kind of reminds me of Aerith's church in Final Fantasy VII. Just falling in through the roof. Dragon Crest Great Shield Talisman. Sweet. Oh, I took that off? I guess, yeah, it's kind of understandable why. We'll keep it on for a little bit longer. Alright, I really don't need to be in here too much longer, so... let's go ahead and touch the next grace and then come back. Is this a Fair Missoula plate? I'm gonna need to double check that. And there's a lot to talk about down here as well. So let's leave that in the dark. Go back up. I didn't get my grace. Oh, we're gonna be going outside anyway. This is where I put my foot down. Dies. Yeah. It's even better when you run out of FP with the with Hoarfrost Stomp, because it just looks like you're throwing a tantrum, like a toddler. He shot me through the wall. It is the same as the one on the way to Malekith? That's interesting. Okay, that's what I thought, but I didn't want to believe it. It's not like I didn't want to believe it, I just... oh no. Damn shield. Run away! Let me get the backstab, you jerk. Oh my god, he hit so hard. Right, yeah, and so with the weird Fair Missoula stuff, like, these little graves just don't seem like they really fit too well with the idea of the Haligtree not absorbing people's bodies. So it seems like they should have been around before the Haligtree really sprouted. Which, I mean, it would have to sprout at some point somewhere. So this really shouldn't be too out of the question. Stop it. Damn it. Oh, here's a spear. It'd be more easy to backstab until he does that crap, and then I get stuck on the wall. And then the rocks. Okay. And with some of these dudes, like, sitting right in front of some of the graves, it seems like they may have had a personal connection to whomever may have died. But that could also just be a stretch. But I mean, why else would they just kind of do that? There should be a knight over here that's doing the same thing. One over there. Oh yeah, I have the Crepus Vial on. Hero's Rune. So that one just wakes up for no reason. I thought I, like, mistimed that again. I did. Okay, so that was the Haligtree crest. I wasn't trying to dodge backwards. I was trying to go at an angle, but I failed. I thought that was gonna break a stance. I'm dumb. I need to play better. Miquella's Lily. You think it's reused from either Dark Souls 3 or Bloodborne? I would need to double check, because I could believe that, to be honest. Finally. Alright. And then I think there's like one more dude over here, or two. They aren't the same as Fair Missoula, sorry. You're fairly confident it's a reused asset from somewhere. Maybe Ray Lucaria then. Because I've definitely seen it somewhere. Right, so that's the first section of the graveyard complete. A little bit tempted to just go back and level up. Yeah, I'm definitely going to do that now that I look at how much I have left. Foster says, if this area's knights theoretically knew the gravestones people, then you could see this place originally being an Erdtree burial graveyard that Miquella thought would have rich soil for his tree. Yeah, it's a little bit strange because we have stuff with like the sacred... What are they called? The blood ones. Sacramental Bud. That make it sound as though he was watering things with his blood on purpose, so that way he wouldn't have to rely on spirits. But that's also a little bit of my interpretation on things. And obviously, like, Moog is also trying to go with the blood motif. But he's maybe being a little bit more forceful about it than I think Miquella would have been. Alright. Now we just have this final little section over here where we have another graveyard with a bunch of kindred of rot. And I really like these ones just because, I don't know, they're a little bit unique and show like a kind of sign of a culture of some sort. And like I was saying with Rykard and the Erdtree avatars, they have like a bunch of hands coming out of them, which I wonder if like that's kind of a related concept. And these things also seem to be like worshipping or venerating the kind of graves around here. How did he turn around? Receive the patrolwoman. And then there's another one back there. I just want to get them grouped together. Oh my god. There we go. Yeah. Try not to get hit by pest threads. Those things do ridiculous amounts of damage. Holy crap. We get some Ghost Glovewort, and then down here we get, I think, our final bell bearing for one of them. A bunch of dudes. Oh no, it didn't stop. It didn't stop. Oh, that kind of worked out. Pest's Glaive. Sweet. Ghost Form Pickers, Bell Bearing 3. Okay, so that's not the final one. Or maybe it is. Because there's only 10 of each. Do I have Flask Tears in my inventory still? I feel like I should be healing more. I think I used them. There'd be upgrades. Of course. Because I forgot to do it that one time when I told myself to do it. Oh no. I think that was it. Another anti-Enterune. Literal miracle grow. You agree with me on the blood stuff? Maybe just to get the tree healthy enough to start past the seedling state, he needed the Golden Order burial boost. Maybe. And then, so we have clean water down here, potentially from like the ocean or whatnot. So the Scarlet Rot water on the inside is just terrible, really. Alright, let's go back over to the roots. Level up. How in the world did Mo get all the way this way to steal Mikola, the dedication? I think somebody had said in the comments, or maybe it was in one of the streams, that they think that Mo just kind of like warped in through the blood, which kind of makes sense. Because that's kind of how we see Mikola. Alright, so as we've seen this dude before, he makes another appearance. And one of the cooler things, I probably need a glowstone. Okay, no, this is good enough. Is we've seen these kinds of mausoleums, or whatever you want to call these, not actual mausoleums, sarcophagi in Ray Lucaria, except this doesn't have like the Carian staff behind it, and these have heads. These are slightly different from the actual Modding Mausoleum designs, though. But just like the crown-looking like thing at the top is repeated. As we come over here, you guys might notice something a little bit different. There is no random Scarlet Ionia in this version of the game. So they added that for whatever reason. And then things are displaced by the roots, which might be important. So this thing should predate the actual sapling, which, you know, shouldn't be really that big of a surprise. Alright, so now that we've done that, we have a quote-unquote shortcut elevator that has the exact same sigil on it. It's gonna bother me where I've seen that lift from before. So we get up here, and we should have had the Mikolan Night Sword, or maybe it's up this thing. But the funny thing is you can just like jump down here directly from on top of like those rafters or whatever you want to call them. They're not really rafters. And you can just get up here normally. Okay, Mikola Knight Sword. There's a belt. And then this will take us all the way back down to the beginning area of the game. So we don't really need to do that. Let's check out our sword. These are still great swords. Okay. Sword forged by servants of Mikola of the Haligtree, with the design modeled after those by Carian knights. Instead of glintstone, however, amber from the Haligtree is embedded in the blade. A sumptuous piece, yet it has never been offered to any knight. An ill-starred sword with no master. Square off. I actually really like the Mikola Knight sword. If I could have gotten it earlier, I probably would have used it more because it does have I think a unique R2. Yeah, you just kind of like hold it and then lunge forward. It's kind of cool. I don't know if any other weapons actually have that natively. So yeah, going back to the actual design of it. Yeah, I'm just going to attack. It's kind of hard to shut up. Okay, that's a little bit better. Yeah, the Haligtree Amber is a lot more orange and gold that you'd expect compared to like Loretta's. So, all in all, I think this is a cool weapon. A little bit underpowered in the grand scheme of things, but I don't know, really interesting and nice for a kind of straight sword. A little bit unfortunate that it doesn't have like, access to any thrust, though. Although I don't really think thrust is that important in this game. He broke through the roof. That explains why the church's roof is caved in. What was first, Moog or the hole? Yeah, let's see if we can level up again. Okay, we're a decent amount short. Alright, everybody. Time to stomp or get stomped. And for Malenia, maybe I just won't summon. Unless I, like, actually get stomped. But, surprise, Hoarfrost Stomp is kind of strunk. Too bad it's holy damage. Yeah, just like the scaling is pretty rough.
I dreamt for so long. My flesh was dull gold, and my blood rotted. Corpse after corpse left in my wake. As I awaited his return. Heed my words. I am Malenia, Blade of Mikola. And I have never known defeat. Now do you understand? I am Malenia, Blade of Mikola.
Crispy Backwoods, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I did not know that Malenia is in fact Blade of Mikola. But if you guys noticed, her ending kill quote right there was actually a little bit different than you may be used to. So I wanted to show that off in case I like one-shot her. Which I don't think I'll like one-shot her. Because, you know, she's still pretty strong. But we'll also die in phase 2. Because I don't think she says anything different, but just to be safe. Oh man. Oh man. Okay, there we go. I should have run the other way.
Now
I didn't actually dodge.
I am Malenia, Blade of Mikola.
Welcome back into the stream. Hey you. You've never known defeat except against Radahn. So, here's the issue. She may have been asleep, so she might not have known she lost. So, is this an R technically the truth kind of moment? You decide. Alright, so like once she starts to get down to half is when she, damn it, starts to use Waterfowl Dance a little bit more willy-nilly. Fudge.
Now do you understand?
That's, okay, maybe I was just too slow on the like, the
Blade.
follow-up roll inwards, but it just didn't go again. Now I'm gonna say that was my L. I just need to actually be aggressive. Should stop respecting her. Celadon, welcome to the stream, even. Funny seeing someone say get good to a player explaining weapons and scaling. You just finished Alexander's quest. Oh, the bastard of the Lorian emotes. Understandable, my man. And congrats. Wait, where are my runes? There they are. Sometimes I do wish that the compass didn't disappear. Just so I could, like, grab the things. Because if I see them out of the corner of my eye ever, it just kind of bothers me. She's staggering way more than she should. What the hell? This is kind of disgusting. What the... That shouldn't happen.
Wait. The scarlet bloom flowers once more.
Such a good cutscene.
Let your flesh be consumed by the scarlet rot.
Okay, I thought that would be the same. Alright. It's one of your favorite songs of the game. It's so good. Now you understand why they nerfed the stomp so much, for sure. You always find it weird how her second phase music kicks in like 2 seconds after the blue always felt out of sync. I don't think I've really noticed that, to be honest. Alright, so as we like come into the arena, we can see Mikola potentially in the tree itself. There's like the big gaping hole in it, which is most likely what Moog stole him out of. I should back off before I get her too angry, so I can collect my runes. Uh-oh, I'm dead. I got a little bit too arrogant. My hubris! My hubris! Alright, anyway. So what is this? Our like third actual death? That wasn't intentional? Honestly, yeah, I agree that I think the... what's it called? The dance, Waterfall Dance, is the most broken move in any FromSoft title. And if it really weren't for that and how much she rallies back her HP, I would like to fight a lot more. And one of the reasons why I like it is just because of like how slow and deliberate she is and how much she tries to counter like what the player is actually doing. Alright, now I'll talk a little bit more during this cutscene. Is being able to proc Frostbite in quick succession without negating its duration to run out unique for version 1? I think so. I don't know when they would have patched it. This fight is Tomoe's DLC that we never got for Sekiro. It kind of does feel like a Sekiro boss fight. Like, imagine if there was a weapon or just a few weapons that would allow you to parry like Sekiro or like Mikiri counter. It'd be so good for Elden Ring. Just add those and a few trick weapons. Oh yeah, I talked over like Mikola's face being shown like we walk up to it. Like, hey guys, where is he? Even though we've already, like, fought Moog.
The scarlet bloom flowers once more.
Wait, there's towers in the background. I just saw that. What the hell? She was, like, in a cityscape for a second there. It would be amazing in Elden Ring for sure. Just like as an Ash of War, like it'd still be difficult enough to do, but Malenia has like a full-on thrusting attack, and it's not like there's a ton of enemies that use it. So, oh yeah, what am I doing? I'm getting got. Oh god. That was my death. I was totally distracted and forgot, like, how to play the game for a second. Like, oh, what am I doing here? Alright, so let's say 4 deaths, maybe? The Goddess of Rot design is your favorite boss design in all of these games. The wings made of moths are so good. Malenia always felt like a Lady Maria OC Donut Steal fanfiction. Yeah. That's kind of the sad thing. Anytime you just get stalked by like a slow, deliberate woman in these games, people are gonna say, oh, it's Maria. Like, even Sister Frida gets that kind of treatment. Uh-oh. She came in. Why is she doing it so soon? I'm dead.
Now do you understand? I am Malenia, Blade of Mikola.
So 5 deaths. I legitimately thought she didn't do that until she reached a certain HP loss threshold. That's crazy. There was a cityscape in the orange? Yeah. The tilted towers distracted me? A little bit. Tilted towers got me tilted, like, what? Yeah, the steepled buildings. Okay, I'll definitely show off the cutscene again. I'm kind of surprised I never noticed it. So it seems like they probably intended us to fight her in Elphael at one point. Oh no, I thought that was gonna finish it. Okay. Don't kill me. Don't one-shot me, bro. Alright, so this part is normal. It's after she blooms. If you look at the bottom left, you'll see some, like, steeples. Noise comes online when losing 20 or 30% of her health. I thought she was way too high HP to use it right then. So that was Mikola's face, obviously.
Wait.
Right, it'll be shortly after this opens when it, like, transitions, I think. Look at the bottom left corner of the screen. Here.
Scarlet bloom flowers once more.
It's totally, like, in the open skies right there. So they just, like, meshed together 2 different, like, cutscenes. That's so funny. Could just be a leftover render. We finally found something new about the game. Vadi will have an actual reason to make a video. Alright, I'm gonna compare it to, like, the retail stuff, because I don't imagine they changed it. But that would be funny if it's more of a rendering issue. But honestly, I don't remember seeing those kinds of steeples there. Maybe they're just the Elphael brace things, the pillars. Alright, playing the game, playing the game, playing the game. Run away! I didn't dodge, and now I'm gonna get double got. So I think I just stay still and roll forward, and then just, like, keep rolling. I think that's what I normally did. I didn't realize that had such good tracking. It's been a while since I fought her like this, I guess. So, what was that? 6? We gotta beat Spectre. You'll have to look. I have footage. Yeah. It's just... After being distracted the first time, I just kind of forgot how to play. Or, like, how I normally play it. Right. Okay, oh god. She almost, like, got out of the range. Alright, we're gonna skip this cutscene this time. I rolled too soon. I should have kept running. Okay, we're good. I don't know if I can keep stunning her like I did in phase 1. But I imagine it can't be too different. I got cheeky there, I'll admit it.
Let your flesh be consumed.
Damn it.
By the scarlet.
7. Reminds you of Liurnia? Yeah, but that makes no sense lore-wise. Someone's gonna make a 30-minute video of that little city glimpse. Let's actually... should... Oh, I still have this on. I definitely do not need that. This could be pretty good. I'd just do the intelligence one. Maybe it is holy damage that she uses. Oh well, we'll just go with this. Really, no. Just more offense is better, because we can just finish her in less hits. Where it is. What you're trying to say is there's a 0.01 chance we're the first to get a look at the DLC on stream? I doubt that. I don't have those kinds of connections. Oh no.
Now do you understand?
Yeah, I think I'm just too slow on the dodge. Maybe I just need to mash it? Or maybe I'm just actually stun locked with that last hit. The lore implications of an animation error? You must be new to the lore community if you don't think people are going to overanalyze that. And I didn't get my runes because I was worried about healing. So what I think is going on here is that the bleed is removing the frost proc and vice versa, so we can kind of keep her stun locked. Why did it roll like that? That's annoying. Remembrance of the Rock Goddess and her Great Rune. Imagine me actually having to fight a boss in this game that's not a Deathbird. That's staggering. You want everyone to give you their most unhinged lore based on it? It was a joke, but lore creators are capable of such feats. Look at all the vids published after the DLC announcement. Hey, yeah, I was on that train. I made my, 5-minute video being like, hey guys, I think this is Mikola. He's on torrent. 480,000, that's ridiculous. Alright. So now that we've rested at that site o' grace, we get her Scarlet Aeonio bloom here. And I think obviously the reason they couldn't do that after the fight is because they didn't want to spawn it on the player and introduce bugs that way. Can't get it all in the frame, really. Maybe if I, like, use an emote. Hey. So we get Miquella and Malenia, essentially. I really like the scene here. It's very, I don't know. I was gonna say, like, pretty or thematic. I don't know. It's just... It's got the vibes. It passes the vibe check. So when we look in here, I thought you could actually see bones, kind of, which resembles, like, where the pelvis would be. But anyway, Miquella's, like, lower half is kind of missing, so that kind of aligns with the random pelvis in the Moog Palace area. And you got, like, the face at the top with the nose and the lips and the mouth. So, is Miquella's spirit still in this tree, or is it in his body, or somewhere else? So, with that being done, we can return Malenia's unalloyed gold needle to her to get Miquella's needle and an ancient dragon smithing stone. Where are we at? Oh no, yeah, this one's a consumable. I always forget that. Should be pretty low on the list. Charm that suppresses Frenzied Flame. While it is capable of suppressing Frenzied Flame, it can only be used after receiving the flame. Fair enough. So this one doesn't hint towards it working only in, like, the Placidus Axe arena. So that's that, everybody. We've done Miquella and Malenia, Moog. We've gotten all of the side demigods. Oh yeah, we did get her Remembrance and her Great Rune. So let's go ahead and warp back to the Round Table Hold real quick and look at her items and everything like that. Foster says, it's pretty clear we're going to fight her again in the DLC. Maybe she was only planned for it and that's a location in the DLC. That's your greatest case scenario with the city. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we end up being her mentor. Just kind of like how Artorias, quote unquote, like Artorias was the hero, you know, wink wink, nudge nudge, nod nod. Until you heard this dialogue, you thought that Miquella being called a he was a mistranslation, but then you were really surprised to hear her calling him her brother. His spirit is in the spirit world chilling with Torrent. The hour ones are a bit excessive. Yeah, I kind of felt that way too. I was in depth. I went into like as much depth as I felt that I could without just like trying to milk it. Even though, you know, just kind of releasing a video the day that it comes out is kind of milking it. That honestly came out at like the worst timing for me. Like, I think I was working on something else and I was up until like 3 in the morning, and then like the release came out and I was like awake for kind of when it got announced, but I was just pretty much dead at that point. So I had to like sleep and then struggle to make a really quick video and edit it all together. So that was kind of a rough day. I just didn't expect it when it actually launched or dropped. All right, so we got the Remembrance of the Rock Goddess. Oh yeah, this is a really important, oh well, in retail. Yeah, so in retail, this one talks about how Miquella and Malenia are the children of the single person god in Japanese, and the English is kind of similar, but it's a little bit more distant. And in the Japanese, it's a little bit more of a hint that Marika and Ratigan are one, which is kind of nice. And it's also why, like, I do think it's really important to pay attention to even though some of the most minor differences in the wording of things. And that also relates into the... Is it the Stargazer heirloom? No, it's the Faith one, which I can't think of what it's called. No, maybe it is Stargazer. Nope. It's the Faith one, which I still don't have. I don't remember where it is. But the Faith one talks about how... No, I'm thinking of the Ratigan icon, where it's said that Radigan learned sorceries with Renala and learned incantations as the husband of Queen Marika. Whereas like that final line is a bit more written as hearsay, so he didn't necessarily have to learn incantations from Marika because he is Marika. And I think because of that description in English, people are more likely to say that Marigan and Radigan, wow. I said it that way again on purpose just because I couldn't believe how silly it sounded. How Marika and Radigan could be two different people. So, okay. From this, we get the Hand of Malenia. Blade fitted to Malenia's prosthetic arm. Through consecration, it is resistant to rot. Malenia's war prosthesis symbolized her victories. Some claim to have seen wings when the weapon was raised aloft. Wings of fearsome determination that has never known defeat. I don't remember if that's different. But yeah, it does also fascinate me that the Scarlet Rot can be warded away a little bit through being blessed. And Scarlet Ionia just blooms a large flower of rot. We already looked at Loretta's stuff. Helm of Arbitress Malenia. Interesting. Alright. Arbitress Malenia. Oh yeah, and somebody was saying that they thought Radahn's helmet, the jaws, could look like an Estelle. Aren't Estelle's antlers, or not antlers, but like antlion mandibles black though? Either way. Okay.
Now go forth. Let the words of the fingers guide you.
Alright, Celadon and Katie, thank you. Will I ever jail Malenia in the DLC? Alright, everybody. We've crossed our 3-hour threshold. We've also pretty much hit all of our major goals for this episode of the playthrough. So once again, thank you for dropping in and watching, whether you're commenting actively or just lurking and listening in the background. I appreciate it. Hopefully we'll see you again when we go live at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So until then, stay safe, take care, and that's it. Last Protagonist out.